And welcome aboard. This is the Andrey Bustamante Show, and it's powered by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. There you go. You can always reach Andrey and his associates at the office at 888-785-0440. That's 888-785-0440. Andrey with a Y, Bustamante.com. That is AndreyBustamante.com. All right, and we're taking your phone calls right now at 855-297-9696. That's 855-297-9696. And if you want to get out your smartphone right now. Go to the messaging app. And when you're on the messaging app, just dial in to the contact or to the address, however yours is set up, 21232. That's 21232. After you ask your question to Andrey, you'll press send. It'll say, text messaging rates by your carrier do apply. But that's between you and your carrier. Most of us, of course, have free texting, so I would not worry about it. So you can text us your questions right now at 21232. Andrey, what's on your real estate agenda for today?
Well, Rob, my mic is not really working, but I'm going to do my best here. Not my mic, my headset here. Yeah. But we're going to be talking all things real estate. So we are live here in the studio, folks. So anything real estate related, mortgages, buying, selling, investing, building wealth through real estate. We do have our hot properties of the week, so we will be discussing those. We have some amazing properties. Some of them actually happen to be our own. So I want to show you, here on our screen, and just so you could share with the audience what that looks like. We will be touching, if we have a little bit of time, on the luxury real estate market a little bit, and that seems to be picking up a little bit as well. Some of our higher end properties, those seem to be going rather quickly, and we seem to be drawing a lot of interest on those properties. So we're going to be talking all things real estate. We're here to answer all your real estate questions, title, mortgage, whatever it is. We're here to take care of you today. All
right, and you can join the conversation if you'd like. Any questions you got for Andrey, go ahead and give us a call right now at 855-297-9696. That's 855-297-9696. So one thing that I was talking to Andrey one day this week, we were on the phone with each other, and I was talking about the fact that one of the advantages you've got, a major advantage you've got with Andrey Bustamante, is he has a lot of contacts who aren't just actively out there driving up and down the road looking for signs. He has a lot of contacts these are people with money. They're either investors or they're very selective home buyers who don't want to be put on 8 million contact list, so they don't contact the Zillows. They don't contact any of the sites because they don't want their name spread about. But they happen to say to Andrey, here's what I'm looking for. Please find it for me. Yeah. So that is a list that you won't get with other real estate people. All right?
And also, I would say, to add to that, it's buyers, sellers that will approach us and say, hey, listen, my wife and I, my family and I, we're interested in selling. This is what our house looks like. If we can get anywhere in this ballpark, we'd be interested in selling. But we're not really interested in putting the house on the market and just having it sit there for a couple of months. We really don't want people buy our house. We just kind of want to do an off-market type of deal. They call these like pocket listings. So we do have access to a lot of properties that are not even on the market from people that have reached out to us and said, hey, do you know what? If you got a buyer for our house, we'd love to sell it. So that's kind of tied in with our VIP buyer program. Yeah. But certainly, one of the things that I'd like to, since we're early on in the show, that I'd like to address is, what's it going to take to get a house sold in today's market, especially because as a seller, we've discussed this once or twice on the show. As a seller, you're competing with a lot of new home construction. I mean, my office is located in South Orlando in the Hunters Creek community. However, we do cover a huge territory, 6, 7, 8, 9 different counties. But where my office is located, there's a lot of existing properties, older properties built 1995, through I think late 90s. But there's two builders that just came in there. So what happens to all of those current residents that are trying to get their property sold? They're having to compete with the two new builders right down the street. So what's it going to take for you as a homeowner to compete with that builder right down the street? And, I guess some of the tips that I'd like to share with you is, what I want you to do is I want you to take the emotion out of the process. My wife and I are currently remodeling our house and doing several things to the house. And it's interesting. We are remodeling the house knowing, thinking ahead 2-3 years down the line, we're not going to stay in this house forever. If all of our plans work accordingly, we will probably be selling the house in 1 to 2 years. So we are remodeling the house with the idea, that we will be selling. So we're looking at it from a buyer's perspective. What does a buyer want to see when he or she walks in the house? And, since really what we're trying to do is we are trying to net, I guess, like every other homeowner out there, we're trying to net the most amount of money possible. So the key thing is to justify that value. Because one of the things I always ask, homeowners when we meet with them, and my listing partners ask, them when in the meetings with them at my office is, are you looking to sell the top of the market, middle of the market, bottom of the market? And of course, nobody's going to say the bottom of the market. No. Everybody's going to say, well, I'm reasonable. I could sell at the middle or high. Most obviously going to say the high, really. At the top of the market. So and the answer doesn't really matter. What matters, really, what we're trying to ask is how much value are you trying to justify? And if you think that for a second, if you're trying to just justify like, a 6 to 7, maybe 8 out of 10, that's easier said than, that's easier. But if you're trying to justify a 10 or 11 out of 10, if you're trying to make this home look like a model home, then all right, let's get to work and let's make it look. Let's make it look like a model home. When somebody comes in, they're gonna say, "Wow, this is it." And chances are, your house will be sold to the first showing. That first couple that walks through that door. So that's what it is, and that's what I want to tell people, that any price is possible. And there are all sorts of, evaluation tools online. We have one through Guaranteed Sale, and we always urge our clients, whatever the number, tells you, whatever that number that you're emailed, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, we are looking for a perceived value, and a computer cannot spit that number out. So when you are competing with these, when you are competing with builders, right, I want you to take the emotion out. I want you to take a look, like I just said, I want you to take a look at it and say, well, what value am I trying to justify? And then with that, let's put together a plan. Hire the best marketer. We have a team of real estate experts. We cover the entire Central Florida market. We would love to work with you. We market houses. We negotiate houses better than anyone in the industry. So of course we're biased, and that's I'm referring to the Andrey Bustamante team at Bustamante Real Estate. Huge shout out to my team. These guys are working around the clock for our clients. But I want you to, of course, hire the absolute best agent. Treat your property like a product and truly market it. Don't hire an agent that's going to tell you, yeah, I'm going to put your house on the market tomorrow. If you hire them today at 6 o'clock at night, it's not going to be done correctly. You want a marketing plan to be put in effect. And then when you do that, I want you to, every single decision that you take, or really your agent should be the one guiding you through all of these decisions, have, like, for example, the appraisal. All too often, because sellers are not emotionally detached from the process, they end up, putting the house in the market for what they have in it. Well, I bought it for $300. I put $50 in. I want to sell it for $400. Leave it a little bit of wiggle room, for closing costs, negotiations, and we'll see what happens. That's not really the best strategy. I want you to look at it. Start perhaps with an appraisal. Because at the end of the day, your house is going to be worth what a buyer is willing to pay. The buyer will pay what the lender will lend. The lender will lend what the appraiser says that it's worth. So start there, and that gives you the foundation to build that perceived value. So, when we come back, we'll talk about inspections and other things that you can do, plus professional photography, staging, other things. We'll touch on a little bit, just because I want to make sure that sellers that are putting houses in the market this time of the year are doing it properly, and you're not leaving tens and tens of thousands of dollars when you're competing with these builders, because it is tough.
All right. When we come back, we'll cover that and your questions at 855-297-9696. We have Nathan on the line right now. We'll get with him in a minute. Calling in from Kissimmee. You power the show. So get yourself involved at 855-297-9696. Text us at 21232. That's 21232. We'll be back right after three big things you need to know. Hey, welcome back to the Andrey Bustamante Show. Taking your calls at 855-297-9696. 855-297-9696. Text us at 21232. 21232. Let's go right to the phones right now. Nathan is on the line. Nathan, how can Andrey Bustamante help you?
Yes, thank you for taking my call. I'm in the process of just beginning to kind of look for a home. I was hoping to get something maybe in the Cape Coral or Fort Myers area. Is there any things I need to be careful or pitfalls when I begin doing this, or any suggestions that might help me to kind of do a good, thorough job and be careful when I'm doing this?
So, Nathan, thank you so much for calling the Andrey Bustamante Show. What's your time frame? How soon are you looking to buy?
I'm going to say in the next few months. I'm in no rush.
Okay, perfect. And are you paying cash or financing?
Finance.
Okay, perfect. How's your credit?
Real good.
Okay, wonderful. The reason I ask is because if it's good, then if you're buying in a couple of months, you could certainly improve it. That's one of the things I wanted to touch on a little bit today. Credit is unbelievable. Once you get to understand credit, it's mind blowing. You could certainly, but if your credit's above a 740, 760, you're probably going to get the best rate out there. Well, here's what I would do. Make sure you have the best real estate agent representing you. Whatever you do, Nathan, do not make the mistake that a lot of other home buyers make, which is drive by, call the agent on the sign. The agent on the sign works for the seller. And unfortunately, most real estate teams are not set up like mine, where the agent on the sign works for the seller, and but the number that you call is routed to buyer agents that work for you. So it's a little bit differently. So I would say make sure you have an agent that's representing you. I personally love the Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. That's actually where
down there.
I bought my dad his boat, and we stayed down there for about 2 or 3 days several months back. That area is beautiful. You have canals that take you right out to the water. Just the area is beautiful. It seemed, well, from what I saw, it seemed to be a little bit more of a retirement destination, a little slower. But it was awesome. I mean, a lot of the houses were new, beautiful tiled roofs. The people were super nice. What takes you out there, Nathan?
Well, it's just, like you say, an area where probably sort of a retirement kind of thing. I was just wondering, do you have contacts with folks out there?
Absolutely. So we have a member of our group that actually covers the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. So what I'm going to do when we finish up here, if you could just hang tight, give my producer your name and number, and I can actually get you in contact with Denny. Denny covers that area out there for us, and he's been in that market for probably longer than I've been alive. He's the coolest real estate agent you'll ever meet. He's awesome at what he does, and he's truly a pro's pro. He's awesome. But things to watch out for: certainly hire the best agent. Make sure you're using a local direct lender. Have your financing lined up prior to actually looking around for properties. If there's anything you could do, I'm sure RP Funding is actually doing business down there.
There you go.
The guy does business everywhere. So he'd probably be one to also look into. And just since you are financing, the piece that I would probably focus on most is when you are drawing up the offer, make sure the terms of the offer are solid. One of the things that we coach our buyers on is that, first of all, price is not the only important thing on the contract. Price is key, But there are other things, like the acceptance of the offer, the escrow deposit, the closing date, the and being flexible with it as a buyer, the amount of days you want for inspection. It's not a given that you should have 10 or 15 days. A lot of sellers like to have a very short inspection period because they don't want to take their house off the market for someone that's not ready to go. And if you can have, by any means, if you can have, perhaps even a loan commitment ready by the time that you start looking at these properties, that'd be awesome. What you don't want to do is have a pre-qualification, or worse, not have anything at all.
All right, does that help you out, Nathan?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of good ideas. All right, thank you.
You got it, man. Just hang tight and let Laura Lee, right?
Laura will be picking up now. She'll take all your contact information, and we invite you to join the show, everybody, at 855-297-9696. That's 855-297-9696. We're keeping an eye on the sky, and we're following all the latest news from the newsroom, and we're about 1 minute, a minute and a half away from going to the newsroom. And again, you could text the show at 21232 or give us a call at 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696. Back to Andre.
So last week was actually our inaugural, that's a tricky word, inaugural, Periscope live streaming right here from our radio station. So I'm actually going to mess with the camera right now. So for those of you that want to stream live and just kind of see a little bit of the behind the scenes, you could do so. You'll find we're actually real people. Where is this? You'll actually see Rob right there. So search for us on Periscope at Andrey Bustamante, Andrey Bustamante, and you'll actually get to see a little bit of the studio, what it looks like. We're here for you every Sunday, folks. All things real estate. Any questions you have, whether it's real estate related or not, of course, we'd love to help you. We're here to positively impact you and your family's life. So we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
That's right, 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696. Andrey Bustamante Show, right here on News 96.5. Welcome back, News 96.5. There you go. You can call Andrey Bustamante right now at 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696. You could text Andrey right now at 21232. 21232. Simply pull out your smartphone, go to the messaging app, and up at the top where you put in the address, just put in 21232. Okay? You don't have to put in a name or an address or a phone number. Just put in the 5-digit texting magic, which is 21232. Andrey Bustamante talking real estate. If you ever need his services, and I know you will, have this number in your favorites at 888-785-0440. 888-785-0440. Andrey, with a Y, Bustamante.com. And I always say, when I'm on the air with Andrey or I'm talking about him out in public, Andrey Bustamante brings you more than just a licensed real estate company. He's bringing you photographers, stagers, home inspectors, people who can help you out with a 203K. I mean, it's all in one package right there. So you make one phone call at 888-785-0440, and you've got it all done. You don't need to worry about it from there. Just go about your business. Have a buyer's agent, which could be Andrey, and or a seller's agent. Okay? Andrey Bustamante. So
really quick, I don't know if you give the number away or not, but it's 888-785-0440. We do have agents standing by my office ready to take your questions. I know not everybody wants to call live into the radio show, but we're just trying to make it so easy to do business with us. You could actually watch us live right now, right here in the studio. If you go to watchonperiscope.com, or if you go to our Facebook, you can actually click the link right on there. You don't even have to type anything on there. Just go to facebook.com/Andrey Bustamante or the Andrey Bustamante team. Just type my name, Andrey, Andrey, Bustamante, and with a B, Bustamante, and it'll come up. So you can actually see live behind the scenes. Ask us any questions. You could also follow along during the week. A lot of these videos will actually go live on YouTube. at the same dial, youtube.com/Andrey Bustamante. So one of the things we're doing differently is this whole Periscope. And it's amazing because we're getting out there into the world and we're talking about your local real estate. So whatever questions you have, folks, feel free to go on there and ask us, or through Facebook, whichever one's easier. One of the questions we got this week is, what are the best areas of Orlando to live?
Oh, hey.
In my opinion, it depends. It depends if you're into the urban, or if you like the suburbs. If you like the urban feel, I think of course downtown Orlando. There's so much growth,
so vibrant down there.
It's awesome. It's actually becoming a big city. It's exciting, especially with all the new growth, the new sports team. We were talking, during the break about Orlando City, which they won earlier in the week. We had a big international match yesterday with Costa Rica and Mexico. They drew 2-2 here at the Citrus Club. Downtown Orlando, obviously, it's a mecca for those of you that want to live in a more urban lifestyle. Winter Park is also pretty good. I love Winter Park. It's a little urban, suburban,
very traditional too.
Yeah,
all the cafes, all the things you got there, and what a renaissance! They hold their value in Winter Park, right?
Oh man, they gain their value in Winter Park. There's a tremendous amount of growth out in Lake Nona. My parents live out there, and I drive by there all the time, at least once or twice a week. And there's a ton of growth happening out there. I would say that a lot of growth happening up here in the Lake Mary, Heathrow. Of course, we've talked about Apopka. So it just really depends. A lot of our buyers end up, the Central Florida buyers either end up buying in Lake Nona, more in the Lake Mary area, or out in Windermere. Depends really where you work, what type of lifestyle you want to have, and that's kind of where we start first. Let me see what other questions we have. In terms of buying, should I really be concerned about the HOA payment or not? Really, I think you should be concerned because that can drastically, increase your monthly payment. One of the things, especially for first-time buyers, I highly encourage first-time buyers, normally speaking, to get into single-family homes because most of us, especially right out of college, we normally want to get into a condominium, somewhere nice, but those HOA fees tend to be quite high. You have to account that. And what you also want to account for that has nothing to do with HOA is taxes. And if the current homeowner has that property homesteaded or not. Because if it's a homesteaded property, your first year, you're going to pay less taxes than if it's not a homesteaded. Because when your mortgage company, when they account and they give you your numbers on the good faith estimate, they're going to account for the current taxes. Not for the fact that you are going to homestead it. Of course, your payment will drop, but your first year payment will be lower on a property that is currently homesteaded versus one that is not homesteaded.
Hey, all right. So, I want to go back to HOAs for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people that come to you and say, I was looking at a house and I want you to be my buyer's agent and it's in XYZ neighborhood and I want to know the philosophy of their HOA? I mean, are they the kind of people that says Junior left his bicycle out on the driveway for 5 minutes, you're in violation? Or is it one that's a little more easygoing? Do they ever ask that? Because they can be a pain in the butt.
They do. I think they do. They probably don't ask it enough. But HOAs are usually a hit or a miss.
Yeah.
I am personally for HOAs. Every house that my wife and I have bought and every house that we will continue to buy will probably have some type of HOA. I think it's good, especially if you live in a community with other homes.
Oh, yeah.
If you're out by yourself, of course, you're not going to have an HOA, and that's great. But anytime you have neighbors, you really want an HOA because the last thing you want is for the guy next door to paint his house black or purple, and there goes the value of your house.
Yeah.
You don't want that. So people do ask those questions. I personally even live in an HOA where it's pretty decent, but it's little things that piss people off. Like they tow cars after 8 o'clock at night if you don't give them a heads up and tell them that there's going to be cars. Say you have a get-together. Mm-hmm. where are they going to park? They got to park somewhere.
Yeah.
They're going to park out by the clubhouse. That's too far away. So HOAs tend to be a little bit of a pain, but you got to live with them. Mm-hmm. You need to have them.
I certainly have one where I live. There's no doubt about that. Hey, I gave the office number a few times when we came back from the break. It always is good to give it to you again. This is the office number for Andrey Bustamante at 888-785-0440, 888-785-0440. And don't forget, Andrey with a Y, Bustamante.com, AndreyBustamante.com. All right. When you go there, you're going to see the marketing specialist that Andrey has put together. What a great company, and it's all about marketing your product as a product. I mean, your home it's emotional. I know you got the place on the door sill, measuring little Mary and how tall she's gotten. But again, if you're going to be selling that home, as Andrey said at the beginning of the show, get in your car and go down to the local model center where the new home builder is and take a look at that model and say, well, let's look at the model. Now let's go home and look at our house. Whoops. Yeah, that's who you're selling against.
And the thing is, you really want to get another person's opinion, because a lot of times we are immune to our house, the smell, which is very key. A lot of people go by what it looks like, because most things are visual, and that's how we communicate. But you really want to make sure your house smells good. And unfortunately, since you live there, you are immune to that smell.
Yeah, you never smell it.
So you really want another person's opinion, and hopefully your real estate agent has a stager like we do. We work with a stager, Janine Edwards, as well as a few others. They do an amazing job. They go out and they play bad cop. But the cool thing is they are there, and I will say they are there to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So they play bad cop, but you want the bad cop. You don't want someone that tells you, yeah, it smells good, it looks good, it's wonderful, it's open floor plan, and then your house sits on the market for 6 or 9 months, in a lower price point. It's understood that if you've got a mega $1 million mansion, it's going to sit on the market for a little bit. But not if you have a $200,000 house in today's market. That property should be sold in 30 days.
All right, very good. Andrey Bustamante, again, the office is 888-785-0440, 888-785-0440, AndreyBustamante.com, AndreyBustamante.com. And we'll be back if you have a question for Andrey on the air. It's 855-297-9690. 855-297-9696. Text us 21232, 21232. We will be back. You're tuned in to the Andrey Bustamante Show right here on News 96.5. That's right. And we're about, 5 minutes away from the latest in news, traffic, and weather. We'll come up with the latest on that launch that failed today over at the Space Center. I'm sure some of you saw it live. Many of you saw it on television. There will be a press conference coming up next hour, probably at 12:30. We'll be on top of that. But Andrey Bustamante is here in studio. And Andrey, what's the very first thing I should do if I want to sell my house?
Hire the Andrey Bustamante team.
That's pretty easy.
Like one of my clients we actually had on here, Effie Walthall. Huge shout out to Effie on Deck Travel, based out of Lake Mary. She when we did her testimonial, her review on us, she said the reason she hired the Andrey Bustamante team is because she needed a bulldog. And that's the reason she hired us. So that's what I would encourage people to do. We have a proven, repeatable system that sells houses for more money in less time. Simple as that. We have the confidence in ourselves, in our team, and our systems and processes to go out to the world and guarantee the sale of your property. Otherwise, we will step in and buy it. No other team has that confidence, and they don't have a celebrity-endorsed real estate system like we do. So I would say you need the best agent. You need a bulldog. You need someone that's a heavy hitter, and that's what I would recommend for you to do. We are a little different compared to other agents. We don't go running out and see you at your house. If you call us at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, we treat this as a career. We will ask that you meet us in the office. More often than not. Now I'm with you. I realize if for health reasons, if you're handicapped, if you cannot come out to our office, we will come out and see you. We'll take care of you. But in order to serve and in order to take care of the amount of people that we take care of on a monthly basis, it is impossible for myself and my agents to run out all over Central Florida, going from house to house to house to house. So all we ask our clients is if you can drive, and if for health reasons, if you can come in and see us in our state-of-the-art office, we welcome you to come in. Other agents, will probably run out and see you at your house. I would kind of take that with a grain of salt, because just be careful, because you don't know who you're hiring. Sure. And if you're hiring one of these big box, real estate companies, the agent may work from his house or her house in their underwear, for crying out loud. Yeah. And just say that they are, working with, X brand, but the reality is they may not even have an office. They may not even have a team. They could say they have a team. We welcome you to meet our team. Come in and see our operation, see what it looks like. And as we're expanding and we're moving into our downtown location, we hope that that's easier for you as our client, to meet us. It's centrally located right off of Mills, and we're excited about that. So definitely hire the best agent. We are available. We'd love to work with you. We don't work with everybody, just because certain people, their ego gets in the way, or they think they're hiring a slave. And we don't work with those people. No. We work with people. We have an ideal client profile, and if you're easygoing and if you treat people well, there's a huge chance we would love to do business with you. But if you're not a nice person, if you treat people like crap, we don't even want you to call us, because I don't want my team or my agents to have to deal with you. But if you're nice, and if you're easygoing, and if you trust the process and trust us, and if you're willing to trust us, then it's easy, and you'll be one of our success stories that we talk about here on the radio. So really quick, I know we got about a minute here left. We just sold a property, Rob, in one day.
Oh, wow.
This is out in East Orlando. This property, we sold it 1216 Creek Bottom. Property was sold in one day, and it was sold for 100% of the asking price.
Hey.
Let me share another quick success story. 23 days, former for sale by owner. This property, we sold it for 99% of asking price.
Hey.
Got another one here, 51 days on the market, and it's an awesome, the price point, though. Anytime you see the price point go up, the days on the market kind of expand as well. 21519 Reindeer Road. We got this property sold, and this one sold for 98.77% of the asking price. Man. We had this property, Rob, we had it listed at $399,900. We sold it for $395,000. Awesome deals. Sellers were very, very happy. We just sold another one in 5 days. This was very cool. I think we did the pictures on Thursday or Friday. Saturday we had the offer and finalized negotiations on Monday, and we sold this one for right at, I think, 99% of the asking price. We sold one in Castleberry, and that was 5 days on the market. Really good, and this is $264,000 property. We sold another one. It was actually one of our flips, and we sold that. And I know for lack of time, we're not going to show a lot of pictures. We got another one sold here in 16 days out on Lake Mary. The property had previously been on the market. And we got a hot property in South Orlando, Falcon Trace community, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,732 heated square feet, completely remodeled. Check it out, 13544 IS Road. Feel free to go to my website and take a look at that. We got another one in East Orlando, 622 Perdido Drive, $349,900. Take a look at it. Those properties are going to fly off the market. Rob, it's been a pleasure.
Good to see you, buddy. All right, thank you so much, Andrey Bustamante.